The Reds have dropped 2 straight series, swept, and not a lot of good fuzzy feelings about the Reds right now.
0-6 since Phil Castellini asked where you're going to go. That's not a good parlay for where you're going to go, and to go 0-6 and now 3 then at San Diego before you come home for St. Louis. I think he's going to find out where fans are going to go, and it's going to be jumping off the ship pretty quickly.
Now, before the Reds went off to L.A. and California for their road trip, we asked David Bell about, not a lot of runs, not a lot of hits. Is he worried? And he had a great line. It's too early to be too early, and he's right. First couple weeks of the season, you're trying to figure it out. But with that being said, it's not looking good. As we take a look at the Reds' offensive statistics, they are at the bottom or right near the bottom in batting average, hits, runs, on-base percentage, and the only stat that matters, wins and losses, dead last heading into Sunday.
Yeah, I did a column right before the season started on kind of a glass half full, glass half empty look at this team from pitching, starting pitching, bullpen, and the lineup. And it feels like everything that I said glass half empty is coming to fruition. The potential sophomore slump of Jonathan India, who's not taking as many pitches and drawing as many walks and was swinging at a bunch of pitches. To, boy, can Nick Senzel finally stay healthy? Well, he's already on the IR. To, at what point does Father Time really catch up with Joey Votto? I know it's the sample size, and we've seen him go through these funks before, but he looks lost. The fact of Tommy Pham was kind of a retread signing late and has been not just bad, he's been awful. The fact that Mike Moustakas has not done anything since he came over to the Reds, and boy, he looked washed before even this season began. He looks washed now, and then you start looking around going, where are they going to get offense from? Tyler Stevenson's been fine, and I think he's going to continue to be really good. I mean, honestly, Brandon Drury's maybe been, he and Kyle Farmer have been probably your best offensive players, and that's not good. I mean, the fact Tommy Pham's batting third in an everyday lineup in the major leagues is just, that tells you all that you need to know about where this lineup is. And so you look at those numbers, and it is a small sample size. You took that after 9 games. It's probably not going to didn't get any better after today because they had 1 or 2, 3 hits, I think, through 8 innings, so that's not going to improve a whole lot. But am I for sure that Joey Votto's going to suddenly snap out of this at his age? If this was 28-year-old Joey Votto, absolutely. Early. And he still might. Yeah. Still might. Listen, we've seen plenty of guys be great as rookies and then have sophomore slumps. I don't think Jonathan India is that guy, but the numbers show he's not walking quite as much. And then you look around the outfield. Nick Senzel, again, is hurt. Jake Fraley's Jake Fraley for a reason. Tommy Pham is a 34-year-old retread. Tyler Naquin's okay in a platoon situation. Aristides Aquino is a disaster. Don't tell me there's a track record for some of these guys that, hey, Aristides Aquino, he had 1 month. I mean, other than that, he's had 1 month. So where is this going to come from? That's the thing I fear. I know they've played the Dodgers. I get all those things. And they're playing the Padres, and they played the World Series champions in Series number 1. And you played a pretty hot team in Cleveland when they came in here. They not so hot right now, but you played a hot team at that point. I get some of that, but I just don't know where they're going to get offense from.
Let's focus on the outfield there, because the infield, I think, at some point is going to be okay. If Votto can figure it out, I mean, India's your long-term second baseman. Stevenson's fine. Right. That's not the issue. But everything you said about the outfield, Senzel on the IR already. It is COVID. He's hopefully going to come back sooner than later. Right. But you can't really count on him. The corner outfielders, the platoons, you're not getting any production out of there. If you're David Bell, Nick Krall, how do you fix that, and how long do you wait until you have to try to do something?
You don't, and this is where, if they'd have just stuck to this whole rebuild mantra and just do it. Don't go sign Tommy Pham. Don't go sign Mike Minor. Don't go sign Donovan Solano. Don't waste $20 million to make yourself a 75-win team. What good does that do? What does that show? This shows it was so reactionary on the part of ownership that when they tried to do the fire sale here or the rebuild, they heard from the fans. Bob Castellini said, I saw your emails. I saw your text messages. I got your phone calls. He was reactionary and basically made Nick Krall go get me some guys. Well, at that point, the guys you're getting are the Tommy Phams and the Mike Minors and the Donovan Solanos and the Colin Morans, guys who are just absolute, 24th, 25th, 26th guys on a roster. That's great if that's filling out a roster that's a playoff caliber roster perhaps, but now you're plugging Tommy Pham into the 3-hole in your lineup. That's just not good in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think there's anything they can do other than finally just bite the bullet. At some point, get rid of some of these guys. Say, you know what, we're not spending bad money now. Listen, we are going to rebuild. Say this with me, Phil. We are going to rebuild. Okay, we are going to rebuild, and we're going to do it the right way, and I'm going to let my baseball people do it the right way, and I'm going to shut my daggone mouth. That's what I'm going to do, Phil.
I believe in the business we call that a mic drop from Richard Skinner. Unfortunately, we got to fill the rest of the show,
so we
can't just.
Okay, sorry.
All right, let's talk about something good.
Sure.
Do you feel good for Hunter Green and start to his MLB career? Opening day was this past week. We're going to get to the good of opening day in a minute. There was some questionable things about opening day before a pitch was even thrown.
Yes.
Phil Castellini, president of the Reds, said on 700 WLW some interesting comments. I'll set it up like that. If you haven't heard it, this is what was said. Take a listen.
Well, where are you going to go? Let's start there. I mean, sell the team to who? I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you want to have this debate. You know, if you want to look at what would you do with this team to have it be more profitable, make more money, compete more in the current economic system that this game exists, it would be to pick it up and move it somewhere else. Yeah. And so be careful what you ask for.
Now, he did release a statement afterwards saying, and I quote.
They did, and they attributed to him. Keep that in mind, too.
Well, this is what the statement we got from the team says.
Yes.
I apologize to Reds fans and regret the comments that I made earlier today. We love this city, we love this team, and we love our fans. I understand how our fans feel, and I am sorry. All right, I am not a baseball owner. I'm not a GM. I played Little League Baseball. That's about as far as I was. I was an all-star in 5th grade and 9th grade.
There you go.
We'll call it that.
Right.
That's my baseball experience. Threatening to move the team on opening day and say, fans, what are you going to do? Stop showing up? Now, that's a bold move for a team president to have. And I don't know if it's going to go all that well because it's been a week and fans are still saying, well, where are you going to go?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was, I think it shows how thin-skinned he is. There's been a lot of criticism of his father. I think I did a radio interview with Chad Brendel the next day, and I thought Chad made a really good point. We were talking about this topic of he went to that interview looking for a fight. He was looking to get in. He said, you want to have this debate? The thing that was the most interesting to me, and I had to read the quote 3 or 4 times before it finally sunk into me, where he said, you know, making more profit, making more money, and fielding a competitive team. He put the money ahead of competitive team. He spoke truth to power there that tells me all I need to know about where their loyalties really lie. It's still about making money. I'm not begrudging them losing money. I don't expect that to happen. But I would tell you this, when you keep pleading poor, here's one thing you can do, my man. One thing. Show us your books. Show us what you're losing. You want me to believe you're losing X millions of dollars and it's just a burden on you and family and ownership? Open them up. Then we'll believe. There's no transparency. Just because he says it doesn't mean it's true. You're sure I know they lost money in COVID. I know that. Everyone lost money. But show that to me. And then the column I wrote a couple weeks ago about Bob Castellini and his PR spin being discombobulated, it's literally that's been his ownership. It's been he took over the team. Dan O'Brien said, I got a 4-year plan. He said, I want to win now. And 3 days later, Dan O'Brien's fired. And so from that point forward, we've seen the plan go to here and spend money and go to there and don't spend money. And they did put together some playoff teams, and some of that was with some pretty good drafts of Dan O'Brien and Wayne Kribsky's in the mid-2000s. A couple of good moves, trading for Scott Rowland, trading for Matt Latos, some of those things that Walt Jocketty did. And then they waited too long in 2015 to do the great sell-off because they had the All-Star game and they wanted their All-Stars to be All-Stars as Reds, and that's just peachy dandy, and that blew up in their face because then all those trades they made, Todd Frazier, Aroldis Chapman, Jay Bruce, Johnny Cueto, you know how many guys are left in the organization from all those trades? They made 6 or 7 trades. Mike Leake was part of that. You know how many guys are left in the organization today?
I'm going to guess 0.
0. So that tells you they waited too long and got 0 value for it. They've never had a plan of how they're going to do this. You can't dip your toe in and almost tease fans like you did in 2020 and then dip it out because you say you're losing money. Prove it to me. Let me see your books. Show me your books and I'll believe you.
And even if you do show the books and say that, Cincinnati isn't the large market, but the Reds have a giant footprint in the United States when it comes to baseball fans. I look just north on the north side of the state with the Guardians, and I look at Tampa. Neither of those teams bring in a ton of money. They don't spend a ton of money, but exactly what you said that the Reds need to do, they have plans. They have consistent presidents and GMs. They're able, when they get prospects, 5-6 years, you see those guys at the major league level, and lo and behold, they're producing. Every once in a while, you'll get a Cy Young caliber or an MVP talent.
And then when they get too expensive, for the most part, they go, let's try this again. Let's get these products. And they've done a great job of that. Tampa's done a superb job of that. It sucks when you watch your star have to leave town. You're like, well, wait a minute. But you know what? Your track record now for these organizations is it's working in that regard. The one here is there hasn't been a firm plan. There's been a very reactionary plan to it. And then don't threaten to leave the town. The Major League Baseball is not going to let you do it. But the fact that he made the threat on opening day is so tone deaf, so entitled, so immature, to be quite frank, that you have turned a fan base against you, and it's not coming back until you prove that you're going to put a winner on the field, and that's going to be a while.
That was going to be my next question. Is there any coming back for Phil in the immediate? Does he have to step down, or
no,
where does this go from here?
Not in the immediate. Where it goes from here is he needs to shut up. Old man needs to get out of the way. If you believe in Nick Kroll, and I don't know that I do, but if they do, well, that's fine and dandy. Let him do his job. Let him, as it looked like he was doing back in March, trading Sonny Gray, trading Jesse Winker, trading Eugenio Suarez, trading Amir Garrett. They were looking to pair payroll. Fine. Just be honest with us. Let us know that. Make sure you're getting maximum value in return. Let's see the farm system continue to build up. I mean, you have had some results out of the draft of late. Tyler Stevenson's a first-round pick. Indy is a first-round pick. Hunter Green's a first-round pick. Nick Lodola's a first-round pick. Nick Senzel's a first-round pick. And, well, Senzel's still on the iffy, but still, you got 5 of those guys that are, at least 4 of them are core guys. That's not bad. That's actually pretty darn good. Continue to do that, but don't alienate your fan base like this. Not now. This has been a pretty loyal fan base that I said this when Dick Williams left. I said, be careful, here comes another rebuild, and they better be quite honest about this, and I don't think the city's got a stomach for it. I think the city would have a stomach for it if you'd have been honest, not threatening them to leave the city, because you're not going to. And honestly, I go back to, if you don't like it, Chief, find somebody to buy the team. I don't care if they live in Santa Rosita. I don't care if they live in Yonkers, New York. I don't care if they live in Sarasota, Florida. They ain't moving the ball club, bro. Bill DeWitt lives here in Cincinnati and runs the St. Louis Cardinals, owns them. He lives here in Cincinnati. He worked out of downtown. I haven't heard him moving the Cardinals here, have you?
Not last time I checked.
Yeah, what a threat.
I mean, Jeff Bezos is looking to buy a baseball team, right?
How about Mark Cuban? I'll take him.